Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Deanna. What's up, y'all?
How everybody doing out there today? I hope you guys are having a good day today. Today, I think we're gonna bring you guys another good one. Today, we're gonna be talking about relationships. Deanna,
Oh.
yeah, this might be a little touchy, but we're gonna talk about relationships. So today's title is things you should have done differently in your last relationship. You ready?
Really? I'm ready.
All right. Well, as we all know, we all have been in relationships. Some have failed, and some have prospered. But today we're going to talk about those that relationship that have failed and what we should have done different versus um, what could we have done different now that you're out of that particular relationship. So the first question I'm gonna pose is, what was the biggest sign that you ignored in your last relationship? Um,
Verbal abuse?
okay. Okay, verbal abuse. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And a lot of people tend to overlook that because what
Right.
tends to happen is if you continue to allow that verbal abuse, it's going to get worse
Right.
because you didn't try to nip it in the bud when it first started, and verbal abuse lead to physical abuse.
Hmm.
You know, what type of verbal abuse were you dealing with? Were you in that type of relationship?
I was. And I really, it'd be taking a lot to get me to like really react.
Right.
I'd be so cool and laid back trying to focus on what I need to do. Is the kids okay? Me working? Do I need to cook? All this different type of stuff. Am I doing a photo shoot? Just all
Right.
the things. So it's
Right.
like when a person says something to you, it's like, okay, whatever. I'll be just like brushing it off. But, certain instances and occasions, things were said. And I did try to nip it in the bud. I'm like, don't talk to me like that. Or, hey, like, why are you talking to me like that? Or what's wrong with you?
Right.
But it never stopped. So it wasn't like to me, I started looking at, because I know some people have bad days sometimes, and sometimes people don't know how to communicate effectively. So things may come out the wrong way, or but like as time went on and things were still being said, it's like, oh, this is a character flaw. That's how I started looking at it,
Right. Right.
and it started making me not want to be around a person no more.
Okay.
Because it's like if you want to go, or maybe they're starting an argument or something like this, it's like just go do what you want to do. Cause
Right.
I ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Absolutely. You
wherever
know,
this is coming from, it's not from me.
right. So, is it safe to say a lot of inconsistencies was it overlooked?
I wouldn't say overlooked. I think I just got tired
Okay.
because I'm a pretty smart person, and you can't tell me something is untrue that I know that is, especially when something is right in your face.
Right.
So it's like, don't try to play me in my face. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to tell me I'm not seeing what I'm seeing, or I'm not like what I'm saying is wrong.
Right.
And then in the end, it come out you was right. I was just this, or I was acting out because of XYZ. No, you should have just said in that particular time, I want to do this, and I'd have been like, hey, go do you.
Right. Well, I do know people that's like that.
Hmm.
Only want to treat you right when it's convenient. For them.
Hmm.
And sometimes, as we all do, we overlook those things.
Yeah.
We overlook them. Okay. So, with that being said, let me ask you this:
Okay.
if you can relive one moment in your last relationship, what would you have
Hmm.
done different?
Stayed gone the first time I left. That's
Okay.
it. Because I normally have a rule like I don't backtrack. When I'm with someone, I put my all into it, and I always make sure I'm considerate. Like
Right.
if something's being done, the inconsistency or inconsideration is on their behalf, not mine. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I always think about something before I say it to a person, how it's gonna make them feel. How can I always like be a safe place for them? Like this is just naturally me. So it's like when you start doing it to me, it's like now I'm in conflict with myself. I'm like, why are they talking to me like that? Like, where this coming from? Because I don't deserve that. I
Right.
don't know about nobody else, but I know about me and I know what I deserve and what I don't.
Right.
So it's like, oh, you must be entertaining something or somebody else because why are you starting stuff? And if you are a man, what I'm saying, just say what you want to do and move around.
Right. Right.
Like it's not
Absolutely.
that hard. I don't want to be around nobody who don't want me around or the vibe switch up. You know what I'm saying? Like consistency is key. I don't care how long we've been together.
Right. Well, I do know people tend to um, accept that disrespect opposed to walking away because when it becomes disrespectful, it's not going to get any better.
Right.
It's not going to get any better. The only thing it's going to do is get
Yeah.
worse. And
Right.
if you're trying to stick around to fix it, or you think you can fix it, then 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to fix it. And then you stay when you should have walked away a long time ago. You
Right.
know,
And that was something I had to learn.
right. And then that's when the narcissistic kick in.
Right.
Have you ever dealt with someone like that? A narcissistic man?
Th- This the same person.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. Okay,
And
well
you got it, I was gonna say, and in the end, everything came out
right,
as far as them confessing. So I was right about my feelings and what I said all along,
right.
which I knew that.
Wow.
Like, boy, you could have saved us a couple of years and some change and did what you wanted to do.
Right.
I'm just saying, like,
You're
that's
right.
how I
You're
look at
right.
it. I don't ever regret love. I don't regret, being with anybody. But like I said, I should have just stayed gone sooner because I have a rule of I don't backtrack. And this particular time I did. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to hold myself accountable for that. Even though I still didn't do anything to, what I'm saying, warrant what the person did.
Right.
Um, I was told I wasn't making enough money, but we lived in two separate households, and it was like, I don't know if you used to a woman doing certain things or I don't know. I just can't speak for whatever other situations were. Then you need to go find what you're looking for. That's the
Right.
only thing I can say.
But let me ask you this: What made
hmm
you what made you double back?
We were friends for 20 years,
Okay.
and I think I was kind of holding on to the friendship of it, and him being so nice. And I think ultimately that's what kept me there. Because it's like
Okay.
you think about the good parts of it and the friendship and the longevity. That's just like if you've been childhood friends with somebody, but every new person that's coming around, like, why you still hanging with their ass? Like you let them say that to you, and you be like, oh, that's just Joy. He just crazy. You see how you dismissed it?
Right. Right.
Joey
Absolutely.
been like that for 20 years, but it don't make it right.
Right.
But you used to it because you've been friends with Joey for 20 years.
Right. Right.
But for me, I was like, me and this person being friends versus being in a relationship was two different people that I experienced.
Okay.
So
So, are you the type of woman that give more love than receive?
I don't know. I don't never compare it. I just be me. That's why I
Okay.
say I just put my all into whatever I'm doing. So I don't have any regrets for anything that I did for anybody. If I would say that, then I would be saying uh I give more love to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Right.
I'm a loving person. My birthday on Valentine's Day, I'm a lover girl. I got a big heart. Like I don't take fault in it. That's an honor. You know what I'm saying? So I don't I don't feel no type of way about that. it could be any man that I'm with. I'm gonna cook for you. I'm gonna cater to you. I'm gonna give you massages. I'm gonna buy you nice gifts. But I mean, as far as like me taking care of a man and actually giving him money, um, I have kids to take care of, and I had a daughter that I bought a car for, and she was going to college and graduating from high school and all that stuff or whatever. So I was taking care of my household and my kids.
Right. So in that type of relationship,
Mhm.
not you per se, but just in
Mhm.
general, I'm talking to the women out there, in general, or the men in general. Um, During that time, what is one thing you wish you could have communicated better?
Nothing, because I communicated everything better. I mean,
Okay.
to the best of my ability. I'm a communicator. I'm not gonna hold my feelings and I feel some type of way. I don't have to, be yelling at you or whatever. I know how to hold a decent conversation and get
Okay.
my point across. Now, whether you want to receive it, comprehend it, and adhere to it, that's not on me.
Okay.
But so what I'll do, I'll just start going silent and I'll just start staying at home. Like I'll distance myself because if you don't change, that means you don't respect what I'm saying. So if you don't respect me, then there's no need for me to be around.
Right. So let me ask you this. So did you
Mhm.
prioritize your partner over yourself?
No, but we spent a lot of time together, and I went to
Okay.
his place because I don't have male company at home.
Okay.
I got I had two teenage, young adults or whatever. So
Right.
I just always created a safe environment for them.
Right.
So
That's
I could say
understandable.
I probably ran myself a little more just to make sure they were cool at home and I spent time with him. So I was the one who made the sacrifice on um going out.
Okay. Okay. So let me say this.
Hmm.
What behavior of yours contributed to the failure of the relationship?
I was just told I didn't make enough money. But make enough money for what? Because no conversation was had on us sitting down on let's start putting money in a pot or let's start putting money to a side for this or whatever. That conversation was never had.
So right. So I mean, so what was the sole purpose of you don't make enough money? I mean, what was that all about? I mean, was he trying to
I,
say that financially you weren't on his level, or
it
um
wasn't said to me, but I mean, if you want to take it that way, I guess it could be. But I never slacked on anything generous being done or cooking or anything else or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Some of these men today may want a woman to take care of them. I don't know. I can't speak for nobody else. I could only speak for me.
right? It
If
makes
I'm
sense.
buying groceries for your house, toiletries for your house, cooking, buying you nice gifts or whatever, like what money do I need to be giving you?
Okay. Yeah, you're right. So I mean, I'm just trying to make that part make sense. I mean, because I don't see where he was coming from making a statement like that. I'm just trying to
I don't know.
play it in my head. What was the purpose of? I would have thought you guys probably had tried to sit down and say, okay, this is what we're gonna do in the next 6 months. We're gonna do this. We're gonna try to buy a house. We're gonna try to start a
No.
business. Um,
Well, we talked about a house one time, so he wanted me to go get a 9 to 5. But I'm like, if we both creative people,
okay,
so maybe check stubs was needed for me to get the house or whatever. But I'm like, if you wanted to get a house, then you should have expressed that. But if you're used to a woman having a 9 to 5, then you shouldn't be with another creative.
right, yeah, because today's society, a lot of people are not trying to work 9 to 5s.
I
They
worked 9 to 5s when my kids were younger. That part of my life is over. This part of my life, I'm living for me.
right,
But during that relationship, I was still working, driving 8 to 10 hours a day. My
Okay.
mom had passed away. My brother passed away. My daughter had prom, graduation from high school, and I bought her a car. What more else money did I need to be making?
Right. And you was doing this. You was doing all this on your own.
Yeah, I mean, he'll give me $200 here or something like that, but that was the most at one time.
Right. That. What you gonna do with that? That $200. That's gas money for the week. You
I'm
know what I'm
just
saying?
saying but I'm like, when you look at everything that I was doing, me and my aunt, my brother's funeral, we had to pay cash, $8,000. So
Right.
I was driving for that. My daughter had prom, she had graduation, and like I said, I bought her a car, and then I had to get her prepared for college.
Right.
Plus, I still had all my bills that I had at home.
Mm.
So I don't know. I mean, I appreciate it for what it was. I did learn some things from it, some signs to look out for, and some red flags. When the nice times were nice, they were nice.
Right.
When the bad times or the ugly times showed up, or when I was verbally abused or whatever, it was horrible. And that was just my experience.
Right.
I mean, of course, he got his own side, and he's gonna say whatever he's gonna say. But I've never been a liar. You know what I'm saying? So I take pride in being a woman. I take pride in treating people fairly, and that's with any of my exes.
Right.
They'll tell you that. I mean, because everybody has tried to come back. So
Everybody want to spend the block, huh?
yeah.
Right. Well, so in that time, in that time
Hmm.
frame, it was nothing ever physical though, right?
Absolutely not. I probably would have lost it. I'm just being serious. Like
Right.
I'm when they be saying like the people that are the nicest, there's the other side is just as extreme.
Right.
So I take the high road every time. I never argue back or nothing like that. Yelled a couple of times at the end. We had a conversation, but it was over. But I'm like, doing all the time where I was being verbally abused or said something crazy, whatever. I'm like, stop talking to me like that in this same tone. But it's just I don't have a middle ground. So it's
Right.
either high road or hell, and I didn't want to go to hell.
Right. I feel you.
So I'm like, I was already like, my mindset was like soft girl era, just taking care of what I need to take care of, getting through these tough times that I'm dealing with. I done lost half of my family, my daughter graduating, all this stuff I'm dealing with, and that I talked about when I came back to the podcast, my issue with low blood and stuff like that. I was dealing with all of that,
Right.
and I just fought my way through it.
Okay. Well, one thing for sure, I'm glad to see that your mental capacity is still there,
Yeah,
and you was able to walk away from it
yeah,
unscathed. So
yeah.
that's an important thing. Um, let's talk about insecurities. Did
Okay.
any insecurities on your end or your partner's end, did that hinder the relationship in any way?
I don't know if you call it insecurities, arrogance, or whatever you call it. For me, I never really had no reason to be insecure. I'm secure in who I am. I got some things that I'm working towards, like I said, creatively that I want to, continue to pursue.
Right.
And it's like that's what I'm taking the time to do right now. I can say most of the relationships I've been in, if I was at the studio, I'm at the studio too long. If I'm if I have a performance, if I'm singing to a guy in the audience or just doing crowd participation, that's an issue.
Well, those are
If
insecurities. Yeah, that's insecurity.
if me and you have a photo shoot set up, it's like come see me first. No, I'm my own hairstylist. My own makeup artist. I'm my own wardrobe stylist.
Right.
I put time and effort into getting my looks together, taking my craft seriously, making sure I have everything that I need so that we can have an amazing shoot. So why would I neglect that to come see you first when you already know this is something that I have to do? It shouldn't be a choice.
Right.
And when I say no, I'm doing this and I need to rest, get whatever rest I can get, but I still need to finish packing and stuff like that, or I'm feeling neglected. Like that's gaslighting. So
Right. Yeah, that's insecurity. If you're performing, and like I said, if you on stage performing and you doing crowd participation and you getting the audience involved in your performance, and that's an
Right.
issue, then that's insecure.
Yeah.
That's all part of being a performer or being an entertainer.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's all part of being an entertainer.
And it doesn't have to be in no disrespectful way or nothing like that, because I have the utmost respect for myself first.
Right.
First and foremost. Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be all out in the audience rolling on a man lap and doing all this and that. With me being single, I'm not finna do that.
Right.
I'm just not gonna I'm just not doing it. But I can sing to you or talk to you and, hey baby, you having a good evening? Well, tonight I'm gonna sing this song. Do you mind if I serenade you for a minute? Or whatever the case may be, however I
Right.
wanna spin it as far as wordplay. But
Right.
there are things that I'm comfortable with and things that I'm not comfortable with, not insecure about it, but it's just a certain way that I carry myself, and I'm just a certain type of performer. So
Right. That's understandable. Um, if your ex, if any one of your exes had to give some feedback about you, what do you think they'll say?
mm, I'm a loving person,
Okay. Now,
but it's just I don't know. It just seemed like it always had to be a competition of me choosing things that I wanted to do in my time with being with them.
right. Yeah, that's not a good look. That's not a good look
I,
at all.
I've had a few exes say, "You're never gonna be anything. If you're okay staying where you live at, that's on you. I've had this and I've had that." My first car was a BMW. My second car was a BMW. My third car was a BMW. My fourth car was a Benz, and my fifth car was a Cadillac. I've lived in houses. I've had condos. I don't care about none of that stuff.
Right.
I've turned down a lot of stuff. I'm building what I'm building from the ground up on my own. And I get to do it on my time and my terms. And I'm happy about that. If a man is generous and nice to me, fine. I don't go out with men or date them for what they could do or this and that, because when you put that damn car up, when you take that jewelry off, when the bank is closed, who the hell am I sitting with? Where's my safe place? Like, I don't need a man saying you not gonna be nothing, or I don't see what you're doing and this and that. How could I do anything if I'm over here 4 days out the damn week?
Well, that was just to try to tear you down. That way you could fall
But
victim to, fall prey, to the victim, to play a victim.
yeah,
That's all that was. No
but the
man should
thing, but
ever. I mean,
but
for a
they were
woman
being
that you,
said.
yeah, for a woman that you're supposed to love and care about, and this is the way you talk to her, then
Right,
that's definitely inappropriate. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Would you want somebody to talk to your mother that way?
right,
Or if your daughter had a little boyfriend, would you want would you allow him to talk to your daughter that way?
right.
So some of these things, have to men have to think about when they do. But like I say, that was just to try to tear you down,
But I
and
say this too. I just say I think sometimes I would say this because uh I take a year or two out of a relationship that I got out of before I started dating somebody else. Because I just take time for me.
right,
It may take less time, it may take more. I don't know, just whatever time I need for me to get everything out of my system, journal, talk to somebody, whatever I need to do to, get my healing process, complete. And so I just felt like with the last one, he didn't do no type of healing and didn't go to counseling, didn't do anything. So when things started happening, I think maybe I was being compared, or when those emotions finally started coming out, I was the closest person that was with to him and with him at that time. So I think I experienced that. It wasn't nothing that I could have done to deserve that. You know what I'm saying? So
right. So at what point in the relationship did you know that it wasn't gonna last?
it just started getting disrespectful. And I'm just at this point, I'm just like, do what you want to do.
Right.
Uh, got invited to a party one time. Then it was like, well, I don't think you should come. It's gonna be a lot of creeps and just a whole bunch of guys in the building. I'm like, okay. So I posted a picture and was saying I was going to get me a drink. I was already dressed, and then I was, well, if you told me you was already dressed, then you could have just came with me. I'm like, but if you said you didn't want me to go, I'm not finna argue with you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want confrontation. So now it's my fault. I didn't tell you I was already dressed. If I already thought I was going and we already discussed this, why wouldn't I be dressed if we supposed to be there at a certain time?
Right. Because if he would have came and you wouldn't dress, that would have been another issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to create no issues. I'm on time. So then another time it was his birthday. I had drove all day, made the money that I was gonna make, to buy him something or hang out or whatever he was gonna do. He was having a party. Then he was like he wanted me to drive, and I'm like, I just drove 8 or 9 hours. Like, I'm not driving. We could take an Uber. You started an argument with me because I didn't want to drive. It's my birthday. I don't feel like I need to drive. You don't have to drive. We can take an Uber. Still make a big deal about it or whatever. And I'm like, if you don't want me to go, it just seems like you're trying to start something with me because you don't want me to be there, because maybe somebody else is going to be there, and that's cool. I was like, I ain't coming, so I didn't go. But
Right.
then after the party, I left the party, then showed up outside my door. That's what I'm saying. It was just all this different. Like, I'm fine. Just stay over there.
Right. Yeah. That's narcissistic behavior. That's what that. I mean, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
You know.
And when you was asking me when I knew the relationship was over,
Looking to boost your brand? Advertise with Situations, the podcast where real life stories meet real time conversations. Reach engaged listeners and grow your business today.
Okay. Go ahead.
you was asking me when I knew it was over. I mean, it was pretty much over, but I was still trying to hold on. I had already lost my mom and my brother, and lost my little brother before that.
Right.
Was trying to get through my daughter. She was getting ready to leave for school. It was just a lot of things going on. So it's like, quite naturally, if you're in a relationship, that's supposed to be your safe place or whatever. Like, do you want everything to end around you?
Right.
Because it just seemed like everything was falling apart at that point.
So let me
I would.
go ahead. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, on top of that, I was sick, from being stressed out from him, stuff dealing with my daughter, my mom and my brother passing, like all of that. It just
Right.
took a toll.
So let me ask you this. I know you stated that you lost your mother, you lost your
Hmm.
brother, both of your brothers,
Hmm.
and all this happened within the same time frame.
Well, my
Was
youngest
there?
brother, he
I'm
had
sorry.
got stabbed in the
Go ahead.
heart by my oldest brother 6 months, 6 years before.
Okay. All right.
And
So
so he went to jail.
with all this happening and all this had
Right.
taken place,
Hmm.
was any comfort there from your
It
partner?
was, yeah, it was comfort there. I would be lying to say it wasn't.
Okay.
But then I also felt like there was a lack of empathy, because it was like most of the time I came around, it was like he wanted sex. And I'm like, every time I come around, we got to do this or whatever. Like, I just need some time.
Right.
And so it was like, well, if someone close to me passed away, and life goes on and all this and that or whatever, it's just like, to me, he lacked empathy.
Okay. Wow.
But I'm
And
like, until you sitting on that front row, you
right.
don't know. You can go to a million funerals and be like, oh, that was my dog, or that was
Right.
my best cousin, or that was my. When your
Absolutely.
immediate family passes away, brother, mama, kid, and father,
It's gonna hit
when you
different.
sitting on that front row,
Right. It's definitely gonna hit different. That's for sure. Yep. So let me say this.
mm,
Um, in the beginning, there was any boundaries set? Did you have any did you attempt to set any boundaries, or you just went with the
of
flow of
course.
things?
I mean, we was going with the flow, but it was respect in the beginning. That's when the love bombing happened.
Okay.
Everything is nice in the beginning.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. When he started talking crazy and stuff, I'm like, who is this? I'm like, don't talk to me like that. Like, what's wrong with you? It's like, because it's catching me off guard.
Right. Right. Yeah. But it's all like you always tell me, or when we speak, you always say they always send a representative first.
Right.
And
Right.
and that makes sense. It definitely makes sense
Yes.
because the person that you see from the beginning is not the person that you're gonna end up being with.
It's not, because by that time your guards are down and you feel like this is a safe person in place for you.
Right. So is it safe to say you settle for something less than what you deserve?
Absolutely.
Right. I know we've all
Yeah.
been in that type of situation before
Yeah.
because I know um I've in my past I've been in a situation similar to that, where
Right.
I settled for a lot less than what I knew I deserved.
Right.
And I took that as a lesson.
Right.
I took that as a learning lesson. I didn't look.
And
Go ahead.
not for the say, and that's all I could do. And
Right.
I'm still not sitting here trying to bash him. I think he's a great guy. And I told him that in our last conversation. I was like, you got some character flaws you need to work on. There's some things you need to work on. And I listed those things. And I'm like, hopefully you can work on that and be better for the next person. I'm not bitter. I'm not mad at him. Like, I wish him the best. He's a super talented guy, really cool, funny, all that. Like, I thought he was my dream guy, but he wasn't.
Right.
Not based off the treatment that I started receiving. In the beginning, yes, it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a liar, so I wouldn't even say that.
Right.
Opening up doors, showing up, all that stuff, whatever. But we broke up the first time because I'm like, how the hell you say you love me, all this and whatever? I get sick and then you don't even come check on me. Like 3, 5 days go by, like you don't even come check on me. And that was the same way the relationship ended in the end. I was working at the United Center and then I had to quit. I had to get a blood transfusion. This was on a Wednesday. He had to work that Saturday, that was sweet as day, and I had booked the silver suite that Sunday. And I'm thinking we'd been together over 3 years. I'm like, we could just still have fun, spend time together. Like I want to spend some time with him or whatever. And I would always do something for him for sweet as day because my birthday is Valentine's Day. So, but that's with whoever I'm with. I'm like, the sweetest day is for the man to me. So that's
Right.
always kind of been my own rule. Like you can have sweetest day because my birthday is Valentine's Day, and I booked the silver suite on the weekend. Of course, that cost like $400 to $500. Uh, we we checked in the room. We went to dinner. I brought clothes to model in. We got into the jacuzzi. We sung, we drank wine, we ate fruit, we did everything or whatever. It was great. Now we're up. I had been up since 6 o'clock that morning, and then we didn't go to sleep till almost 3. And so he waked me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, wanting to be intimate, and I'm saying I'm tired. This man got pissed off and started going off, and basically the relationship was over on sweetest day.
Wow.
And I just felt like that was the most considerate. Drove himself home in my car and left me in the parking lot.
Wait. He wait. He drove himself where in what?
In my car, he drove back and then just left me sitting in the parking lot. And I was sitting there for a minute because I had to get myself together. I was already weak. I just said I had a blood transfusion
Right.
3 days prior, and told me take care of myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And after that,
Unbelievable.
his truck engine broke down, and then I took him to work. I asked him did any of his friends call us and that, offered him a ride to work, took him to get the engine and everything, and I still got I could have took a Uber. So it's like when a person come back to you saying after all this 20 years of friendship and this and that, you can't use the friendship card because I was still being your friend after the fact and you still was unappreciative of the nice kind things that I was doing. I don't know how to be mean to people. Yeah, I curse people out. And like I said, I don't really be want to go below the belt or go to drag people to hell because I loved you. I cared about you. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I would just remove myself. And that's been friends or whoever. And everybody, they'll tell you that. Oh yeah, she just gonna go silent on you. She gonna say she need time to herself. She gonna block you because I still, even though we not, I don't want to say nothing that's gonna hurt you.
Right.
I don't want to do anything that's gonna hurt you because I feel like if you was in my life, if I ever said I loved you, that's just what it is. That's why I was like, I don't know how to not be who I am. I'm a lover. I'm caring. I'm thoughtful. I'm nurturing. But when you push me to the point of not doing those things, then I'm like, I just can't serve or be served here anymore, and I have to pull back.
Right. Well, I mean, you're not wrong for that. You're not. You're definitely
Yeah.
not wrong for that because you know how you want to be treated as a woman. You know what you
Right.
deserve.
Right.
You know how you should be treated. So
Mhm.
accepting anything less than that, then that makes that
Right.
makes you playing by their rules now.
Right.
You playing by their rules.
And it's I would just say this to men. Please take time to communicate your feelings, try to release them in a healthy way when you're, talking to other people. And when you get out of one relationship, don't jump into something else. Because we were friends and I told him, I'm like, I feel like you need to be single. And he wants to hop in a relationship with me. And I'm like, I just really feel like you need to be single, whatever. And I should have just took my own advice with that because you end up actually hurting somebody that you possibly do care about a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't think nobody deserves that. But if you
Right.
go out in the street and you playing around with women that say they don't care about their feelings or they out there chasing the money or they out there for the thrill, then go do that with them. Don't do that with somebody that's loving and caring. Because everybody not out there for that. And I took a whole year and a half. Like I didn't date. I wasn't sexually active or nothing and still haven't been. And it's not because I'm waiting for him.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that I was healed and stuff like that because I'm like, this next person that enters my life or when I start dating again or whatever, like they need to see the brighter side of me and get the best version of me, me smiling, me being carefree, me, flirty or, you know, whatever I'm doing, all the things, that women do that men enjoy or whatever. So it's like they get a fair shot.
Right.
I'm not blaming you for what old boy did. You get a clean slate with me. And if only you can mess that up. Can't
Right.
nobody come tell
Absolutely.
me about you. You get the opportunity to tell me the truth about you, what you present, or something that you've been through, or if you're dealing with somebody or whatever, just be honest. Give me the option on whether I want to deal with that or not.
Right. Okay. Well, let me say this.
Okay.
Um, what do you now realize was the biggest lesson from that relationship?
I should have stood on business when I said I didn't want to be in a relationship in the beginning.
Okay.
I kept saying I didn't want to be in a relationship because I had just damn near died from COVID.
Right.
So I wanted to get myself back together. And it was like I robbed my own self of just spending time to actually, see what I want to do and everything like that, or get back to my music or whatever it was that I was trying to do versus, getting in a relationship with somebody because they was applying pressure.
Right. Well, so now that's one of the lessons that well, you said you've been single, so you're healing
Yeah,
and you're dealing with all the issues that you dealt with,
right.
so okay. I mean, I see where
But it
I
was just
see where you're
like the,
going.
the biggest thing would be because I feel like he didn't take time to be to himself, to heal, to date, to be a hoe, even if he wanted to do that. Like, I felt like he should have did that. Like this is what I don't understand about men. And I don't care. Yeah, we wired different. Women are emotional. But how the hell you get out of one thing and you hopping into something else? That's
Right.
not cool. Because you can't say, I'm cool, I'm okay, and this and that. And you didn't unpack none of the baggage from the last thing or whatever. And then soon as something make you mad, now you taking it out on a new person.
Right.
No, she don't deserve that because I'm one of the ones who actually take the time to myself. You know how many men curse me out? Oh, here you go. You always talking about you working on yourself again. I know what it takes for me to heal. I know what it takes for me to get back in my happy place. I know what it takes for me to feel like me again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, don't be mad. Thank me. Because if you come my way and I'm ready, like, you're going to enjoy it to the fullest.
Right. So can we honestly say that you're back to yourself again, or you're back to that happy place that you speak of?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Like my smile is back, my zeal is back.
There you go. Absolutely. I got to applaud that because some people don't make it back.
I know.
Some people have breakdowns, nervous breakdowns. Some
Yeah.
people crash out,
Yes.
so that that you say that you back to yourself again.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing but applaud that.
And I love that. Like I said, I've known from when I was 5 years old. So I'm writing this in my book too. I was having a conversation with God, and I asked Him to make my heart like His. And so I take pride in that. So it's like I don't. That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't ever want to be out here treating people wrong or lying and misleading people and stuff like that. That's not of my character. Like that's very important to me.
Right.
So I have to get back to that. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's like if it's taking me time, it's not so much of me being mad or upset about what he did or what somebody else did. It was me being hurt and me feeling disappointed and let down.
Right.
Because not to say they should have treated anybody else wrong. I don't know what their experiences were with other people, but I'm like me, like how you do that to me?
Out of all people.
Yeah,
Right. Out of all people.
because I'm like we cannot be together, and he could say that, and a lot of other exes too. It's like if you call me Key, I'm stranded on the road. Nigga, I don't mess with you, but I mess with you. Where you at? I'm in Joliet. I'm in Palatine. I'm coming to get you.
Right. Well, most people wouldn't even probably pick up the phone. Most people probably
Right.
wouldn't even answer. Well, most exes probably wouldn't even pick up the phone.
No.
You know, they probably had you blocked from day one.
Yeah. And I'm like, I block because I feel like you disrespecting my presence. That's the only reason why I block.
Okay.
Other than that, you wouldn't be blocked or whatever. I still got some exes that call me, ask me for advice, want to talk to me about current situations they in, just to get a woman's perspective, because they know I'm gonna just be honest with them.
Right.
I'm not no biased woman. Even from the topics that we talk about on here, I always say, well, the man got his point of view. Well, maybe this. Well, maybe that. I
Right.
always consider both sides.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I said, it's many women. I can assure you, it's not many out here like that.
Yeah.
They gonna be biased. They gonna stand on a woman's perspective, and that's it. That's the only thing. I'm not saying all women are like this,
Yeah.
but from some of the stuff that we see that circulate now,
Yeah.
a lot of these women is all about themselves, and that's all they care about. And that's sad to say, but it's the facts. It's facts.
I've never been that, and it was hard. Even now, like even with my kids, with him, with whoever, friends, whatever. It's like I'm 45 years old, and this is the first time in my life where I feel like I'm actually finna put myself first. As far as like uh setting boundaries or really saying no to
Right.
people and giving myself that yes and time for me to flourish in the things that I want to bring into fruition. You know what I'm saying? It's like if somebody called me, like I said, you call me saying I'm stuck on the side of the road. I feel like, if you in my life and I can help you, I'm obligated to come do it. But it's like if I got something planned or something that's important to me, like I shouldn't drop what I'm doing all the time, you know what I'm saying, for other people.
Right. You're absolutely right. But I mean, that's just who you are as an individual, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing
No,
wrong with
it's
that.
not. But I also needed more boundaries, you know what I'm saying? And just
Right.
standing on business about, yeah, y'all important, but what I'm doing and I'm important too.
Right. But I mean, I don't understand where um in relationship people have us as men. Let me say this. You know, us as men, we have to realize one thing. If you're in a relationship, you have to put your woman first. Your woman has to come first. I mean, I can't see it no other way. There's no other way around that. You not putting her first, then these are the type of things that's gonna transpire. You're gonna have these type of situations because she's gonna feel neglected, she's gonna feel used, and she's gonna feel unwanted. So what we have to do as men, we have to value that. We have to value your partner. You know, if we don't do that, then this is what happens. These are the outcomes. We end up tend to lose good women, and then what we do after it sink in, now you're shooting text messages back to her, talking about I'm
Right.
sorry, I'm trying to get back
Yep.
with you, and spitting the block.
Right.
And if you did if you should have what you should have done was took those took that initiative the first time and did what you're
Hmm.
supposed to do, and you probably wouldn't be in the situation that you're probably currently in. So that's just my take on it, and that's just my message to the men out here. We have to do better. I know we fuck up a lot. A lot of men do. It's
Hmm.
all part of life.
Right.
We tend to make mistakes,
Right.
but we refuse to own up to them.
Right.
But uh, with that being said, what approach would you take going into your next relationship?
I take the same approach. Like I'm if you approach me in a nice way and we have a few conversations and I ask you some questions and I feel pleased and okay with the information that you got me and I want to move forward as far as like giving you my time, then we gonna hang out. I
Right,
mean, I can't doubt what a man says and still I feel inconsistencies or he answered a certain way and I'm like, nah, it's a little more to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not 20, I'm 45.
right,
So you just can't say anything and expect for me to be green and that I don't know. Or I don't be outside a whole lot so people think I'm green, I don't know what's going on. I choose not to I be out doing errands. If I'm invited out by people and I feel safe, I go. If I'm working, you know what I'm saying, I'm outside. Other than that, I'm trying to rest or I'm in here working on my book or just making sure I get my voice back intact so I can start back singing again and moving around and completing the projects that I want to do. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if a man want a woman that got a 9 to 5 or this and that, go get that, but I'm working towards building the empire and I'm gonna do that. I'm
right,
gonna have my own cosmetic line. I write music, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have my own music projects. The makeup and fashion, I'm trying to really see what I want to do with that. Doing the makeup and, purchasing fashion, styling, whatever the case may be with that. Just building my companies up. So I don't know like what a man want me to do. I put everybody first. I worked the 9 to 5s. I put my kids through private school. I've given everybody else the yeses. Like I'm just ready to give my own self that yes. And these are the things that are fulfilling in my life. Because even if a man showed up today and I felt like he was Prince Charming and he did everything right and he was this great provider and took care of me, I would still want to do these things.
right,
Like sometimes money is a tool and of course we all need it, but this is something that's gonna be fulfilling to my spirit and my soul. And if you love and you care about me and this is important to me, you will understand why I need to do this. Um, I got 3 years of college finished. I got a 3.7 GPA. All my jobs have been corporate jobs. I don't want to do that anymore. But if I want to go back to corporate America, I can.
right,
I lived that part of my life. We are here to have a human experience. And I want to feel like I finished mine doing what I wanted to do. Like, I didn't come here to make everybody else happy. I feel like I'm the underdog. I feel like I have unfinished business with music and everything else that I want to do. And that's where my heart is at.
right. Well, pursue it. Make sure you pursue it. Don't ever let a day go by where you're not trying to perfect your craft.
And I do. Each
Because
day, I'm doing something towards that.
right, absolutely. You got to keep the grind.
Right.
You can't lose sight of your goal.
Right.
Because once you lose sight of your goal, you're never gonna pursue it.
Right. And that's why I just had to release the people that was around me that started speaking death over me and not life. You know what I'm saying? By being
Right,
negative. Well, if
right,
you don't want nothing or you don't want this or you don't want that or it was the makeup or whatever. I haven't seen any makeup that you did or bought and this and that. I gave you money for makeup. You gave me $250 for makeup. I spent over $3,000 for makeup. So now here I'm come pulling out all the makeup and boxes of makeup that I done bought to prove to you that I done actually invested in myself and bought the stuff. It's like, why do I have to prove to you like my word should be enough? You know what I'm saying? And it's like my word is good enough for me.
Right.
I know the effort and time I put into things. You see how when we do them photo shoots, how I show up and how I'm prepared, and you have to help me with the damn suitcases. Like I put 100% into everything that I do.
Right. Absolutely.
Now I just have more time to do it, and I'm excited about that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Like I say, just just keep grinding.
Yeah.
Keep putting keep putting your best foot forward, and
Hmm.
I can assure you, something great, something great will happen. Something great will definitely happen for you.
I know it. I feel it, and I took some time. I wrote my younger self a 5-page letter. I promised her, I apologized to her for everything that I had to endure on my journey from childhood on up to adulthood that was beyond my control because there was a lot of situations that I didn't have control over because I was a minor. I promised her that I was going to protect her and I was going to stand up for her and I was going to take more risks. And that's what I'm doing. And I promised her that we were going to finish the journey that we started.
Right.
And that's the path that I'm on now.
But you got to remember, even though you stated you wrote yourself a 5-page letter as a little girl, that
Yeah.
prepared you for who you are today.
Yeah,
You
I
know
know
that.
that, but the whole thing was it's like so I wasn't never looking for a man to rescue me.
Right.
Like that was the point that I was trying to make. I'm rescuing my own self. Like I'm that's how you become complete and whole for me anyway. It's like when I can meet the little girl and we can join hands and I can make her feel safe to take all the leaps and bounds or whatever, I'm fulfilled as a woman.
Right. Yeah. You got this.
Yeah.
I've been knowing you. I've been knowing you for a long time now,
Yeah.
and one thing I can honestly say that I've never seen you uh, not prepared.
Right.
Not once. I've never seen you that way. So I
Right.
know you got this. You got it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just keep thriving. That's all you can do.
You are now
And
watching
I've been
Situations, the podcast,
tuned in
where
to
nothing
your
is off
number one.
limits.
Go ahead with your statement.
I was just saying I talk to people every day and I encourage them. I just feel like we have a lot of people on this planet and I come in contact with a lot of people on a daily basis. And my mindset is always is with people and always will be. You may only have one encounter with me. So I want to make the best of that. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to pour into people. I'm nice, I'm kind. I give encouraging words. Sometimes they tell me their whole life story, and I share, my journey and my story and my testimony. And they'd be like, "Oh my, I'm so glad I got it here," or they'd be like, "It wasn't a coincidence that I got it here," or "Thank you so much. I listened to everything you said." You know how many times I've picked young men up and dropped them off at 26 in California, and
Right.
I've talked to them on the way there and coming up out of there to encourage them. Like I don't know how to tear people down. I only know the truth, and that's what I was like. Even with what we're talking about today, I'm not trying to tear him down. I still think he's an amazing person. It's just some things that he needs to work on, and he
Uh,
needs to be more aware of what he say before he speak.
yeah. And like I say, that's a lot of our flaws.
Right,
Um, and like I say, I can admit to that.
right,
We have that as a flaw. Sometimes we just go right off the top without
right,
thinking, and before you know it, we then outed it, and
right,
now we got to suffer the repercussions behind it.
right. And that's what I was gonna say. There's always a consequence, and I'm looked at the bad guy often in people's lives, like friendships too. I remember being sick, and somebody's like, "I still expected you to show up at my birthday. I did your hair for free, but I was sick."
Right.
And I didn't have the money to go or whatever because I hadn't been working. And it was like, I know this, but I still expect this from you. And it's like, damn, what about me? Like, it was like people, that's what I was saying. Like the last time, people were still expecting me to show up and I was damn near dying over here. And so now that I've been to myself, I'm the bad guy.
Hmm.
Now it's all she mad or I know you still love me. I know you still this. No, I know I love me.
Right.
I was expecting something different and you showed me something and I didn't want that. And maybe I stayed in all of those relationships, friendships, whatever, a little bit longer because I was rooting for them to give me something different and they didn't.
Right.
So I had to keep giving it to my own self. And I'm just looking forward to meeting new people, amazing people, and embracing them. I'm not letting, bumps in the road or, certain situations or certain people stop me from living my best life and experiencing great people out here because it's some amazing people out here.
Right. That is true. That is true. But it takes an amazing person to realize that, though.
Absolutely.
That's
I
one
just
thing I
think
can
through
honestly say.
everything, everything that I've been through, I've always had a positive outlook on life. Like I'm not lying. Like it's like my heel could break or whatever, and I'd be like, well, I didn't want to wear heels today anyway,
Right.
or like if I was driving Uber something, somebody get be like, ma'am, I ain't sleep with you last night. Maybe you need to get laid, or here you need some money for a coffee or something. What's wrong with you? And they start laughing, and it's just like, but just always trying to bring some enlightenment or some joy and laughter to people or whatever. That's what we're here for. When you get through with all the material things, you're left with how somebody made you feel.
Right.
You will never forget that.
Absolutely. You're 100% correct.
You
You're
you can
100%
have
correct.
for a man, he could sleep with 20 women, but then he can get that one woman to be like, "Are you okay?" She prayed for him, give him forehead kisses, cook for him, and everything. He's never gonna forget her. For that woman, she could have men buying her all types of diamonds and rubies and cars and houses and stuff, and then she's feeling ill, and the man getting her soup, or he come carry her out the house and take her to the emergency room, or just come pick her up, or anything or whatever. Like she's never gonna forget him. It's all about how people make you feel, not the things. Things are nice, but they fade.
Right.
Houses get burnt down, cars break down. The bank could put a hold on your damn money. Then what? Like
Right.
people actually showing up and how people make you feel. That's what's most important. And that's the lesson that I will leave everybody with.
Right.
Start feeling y'all be out here crashing out every day. Everybody out here just moving with no emotions. Everybody saying fuck love. Y'all asses is the ones that's hurt. It's hurt people hurt people. And that's why people out here getting their feelings hurt. Because nobody wants to experience the real emotions that they're feeling. And I'm a person who does. So I'm like, if I have 10 relationships after this and they all fail, I just gotta look at the goodness that I seen in all of them and just if it was experience or if it was, an amazing, purpose or whatever. That's just how I look at it.
Right.
All right, next. What's my
Right.
next encounter?
And ain't nothing wrong with that. There's definitely nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that. Nothing at all.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that was kind of interesting. It was an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed what you heard today. But I just want to say one thing, just men. I'm gonna speak directly to the men. You know, we have to do better as men. Once again, I'm gonna state this. I can't state this enough, but we have to do better as men, especially if we find that special someone. Because when you find that special someone, you don't realize it until it's too late. And then once it's too late, and you especially if you get that one that don't spin the block, then that's when we realize we made a mistake. So as men, we just have to do better. We just have to communicate and cherish the one you're with. That's one thing I can say. Tiana, you want to close out with something?
I would just say that was perfect. And for the men, it's okay to express your feelings. And if a woman is telling you you a simp, you are this, you are that, or whatever, that's the biggest red flag ever. Because if you're a man, you're not supposed to be masculine around a feminine woman. Like, yeah, you're the protector, all this and that, or whatever. But I'm like, when you're talking to and interacting with a woman, there's supposed to be some vulnerability there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, Don't talk to me like you talk to your homeboys.
Right.
Cause baby, that's gonna be the quickest way for you to get shut down. Clink clink, lock it up.
uh, oh my God.
Thank you guys for tuning in to today's show. We greatly appreciated it. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday for another amazing episode of Situations the Podcast.
Okay, everyone. Once again, I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Um, Once again, I ask that you guys get over to our YouTube channel at Situations the Podcast. Make sure you turn on that notification bell, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe, because we cannot do this without you. Uh, you guys are the one that give us the strength and the energy to keep pushing, to try to bring you guys good content for the show. So once again, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure you guys are with us next week, same time, same place, same channel. Deanna, before we close,
Okay.
tell everybody where they can find you at. It's going to be in the description, but I want them to hear from you.
You guys can find me on Facebook, Deanna Chester, Instagram, Miss Deanna. And like I said, hopefully I'll be having some music soon so y'all can, hear all these great lyrics from these stories that I'm telling y'all.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I really enjoy my life experience. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. I hope you guys are leading with good intentions, love, laughter, and happiness. And when you have challenging situations or topics you need to talk about, just do it in a loving way. That's it.
Okay, good. Good advice. Okay, with that being said, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.